All right, everybody, today's the day. We're going to start building these raised beds out of these railroad ties. So first step, we've got to move them from their current location outside of the fence and put them over here closer to where the raised bed area is going to be. So let's do it. All right, so I'm going to start dragging these timbers over here and get them into the general area. They're extremely heavy, so let's see how this goes. One down, 13 to go. This is going to be a chore. At this point, I'm just trying to see which is easier, dragging them or moving them end over end. I can tell from how far my other raised beds stick out where the end of them is going to be. I just don't quite know where the beds are going to be placed. So right now my goal is just to get them in the general area, and then I'll start setting them in place. I'll bring you back once I've got them all moved. Okay, I got the first timber put in place. These sticks I've measured 77 inches from this building because my other two raised beds begin 77 inches away, and I'd like everything to remain equal. So first one's in place. I'm gonna grab another one, start placing them. This will start coming together. These are heavy. I will say, these timbers are so heavy, once you get them in place, you really don't have to connect them together. If you wanted to, I guess you could come in at a diagonal and shoot a screw or something, but I mean, these things are just brutes. They're not gonna just fall over on their own. Actually, over time, they'll start settling in the ground just a little bit, kind of seat themselves in place. So the end pieces are a different story because they're only going to be a 4-foot piece. But for these long pieces here, I've never found a reason to tie them together. Just make sure they're snugged up. Let's go. You'll notice on all these, there's one side that's been notched just a little bit. The other side is clean. I leave the clean on the outside just to give a better look. So that's what we're doing. Flipping them end over end has definitely been the easier way to move them. But when you get in close quarters like this, you really don't have an option but to just get in there and just try to get them moved around. Have I mentioned these are heavy yet? I think I'm gonna go ahead and skip leg day at the gym. Okay, now All right, I just deconstructed the fire pit. Let me grab one more timber and we'll get them laid. You can definitely tell some of these got metal in them. That one's at least 40 pounds heavier than these others. I know that's 51 cut. Board's about 52 inches apart. Come down here, get an idea where we need to be. This is the progress so far. Now I got the first one done, and now I'm setting the second one. I'll bring you back when I got it done. This is definitely hard work. Do not pick a day that's super hot. Luckily today's only about 80 degrees or so. A little bit of a breeze, so not too bad, but these are heavy. Well, everybody, about 72 ounces of liquid, 2 hours of labor. The beds are now in place. I think they look fantastic. I measured, they match my bed spacing over there perfectly. I've got the 2 beds, and I've got my garden shed, my kids' playhouse area, and then I've got 2 more beds. It's gonna be just absolutely amazing. The next step, I'm gonna go get my weed eater, and I'm going to weed eat. I'm basically going to scalp the grass underneath these beds. Then I'm going to layer cardboard. I'm going to put some little twigs and sticks and things like that are laying around the yard in there. It's not going to be a humiculture type bed, but I'm going to go ahead and just break those sticks and throw them in there. And then I have my Beyond Peat that I bought from Walmart last week. I did a video on. They had it marked down 90% off, down all the way down to $1. So I'm going to fill those up. I think I only have enough to fill 1 bed to the depth that I want it. Now, one thing I'll say is I'm not worried about filling these beds all the way up because I have good garden soil under here. Basically, I would just like about 3 inches, add about 3 inches of that Beyond Peat garden mix to what I already have here. And then the plants that I plant, they can go ahead and access the topsoil that's here in my yard. No worries about that whatsoever. But I'd like to have a good about 3 inches on top of the current soil. And then what I'll do is over the next few years, I'll be adding compost to my compost pile. I'll buy bagged manure each year, and we'll eventually get these beds up, you know, probably about 5-6 inches tall. But I'm not worried about that in the first year. It's no big deal. It's not something that has to be done. It's not like I built these on top of a concrete slab or anything like that. If that was the case, I'd want this full 8 inches of dirt so the roots have plenty of room. But anything I plant, those roots are going to be able to grab down here and get into this good topsoil in my yard. So that's the next step. We'll grab the weed eater and get this knocked out. Like I said a moment ago, my goal here is to scalp this grass inside the beds so that there won't be stored energy. And then when I lay the carpet, or when I lay the cardboard down, it'll easily die off. do it to the other bed now. I'm just going to take a quick second, a minute or so, and I'm going to level out this grass from where I weed eated, just so it's a little more even. Mainly just likes to accumulate along the edges, so I got that knocked out. Next, I've got some tree trimmings, some branches and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and lay under the cardboard, and then I'm gonna lay this cardboard. So I'm gonna go collect those, and then you'll see me lay them in the bed. This step's definitely optional, but I had a tree that needed trimmed, and it's just gonna add more organic matter under that cardboard, so why not? Like I said, this is definitely not mandatory at all, but the tree needed trimmed, so I thought might as well just add it in there. Saves me from putting it in the compost pile. Alright, now we'll do the cardboard. I'd say I'm just overlapping by about 1.5 inches. It's just so that whenever I go to add that dirt, if I overlapped it any less, there's a really good chance that the boxes could shift and they would no longer be covering up that grass. And I don't worry about removing the tape necessarily. bottom of this one taped. Hey, I'm gonna keep doing the cardboard. I'll show you what the finished results look like. All right, I had just enough boxes to cover one of them. Now what I'll do for the other bed is I'll end up going to our local Dollar General. They keep all their boxes outside, and I'll get a carload of them and bring them down here and cover them up. Right now I'm gonna take my garden hose. I'm gonna soak these boxes so that they lay flat before adding the Beyond Heat raised bed mix. As you can see, cardboard's starting to lay flatter. As that water soaks through, it'll break down and start laying flatter. All right, I can only fit 5 of these on my wagon at a time, so I'm gonna start with these 5, and we'll see how far down the row it gets us, and then we'll go grab 5 more. Looks really good stuff. I'm gonna dump a couple in there, and then I will get my rake, start raking it out a little bit. Looks like it's got a really nice texture to it. And this product is regionally formulated with organic materials, including one or more of the following: processed forest products, compost, composted rice hulls, perlite, and poultry litter. So that's what it's primarily made of. Spreads very easily. As I said before, I'm just looking for about 2-3 inches of coverage. To start off with, so. I'll most likely be planting carrots and kale in these beds for this fall. I might also do broccoli, cabbage, maybe. I've got a bunch of cabbage seed. And I had some good success with that last year, so with having all this extra bed space, I want to make sure that I'm growing stuff that I'll actually be utilizing. I can only eat so much kale, so carrots overwinter very well, so 5 of those bags got me my 2 inches that I was looking for a 4x8 area. So we'll continue on down the line. I'm gonna go get some more bags, and I'll bring you back whenever I'm finished. All right, everybody, this is a wrap. As you can see, I still have to do the second bed, but I'm gonna have to go and get cardboard from the local Dollar General because I ran out of cardboard, and I'm gonna have to go to Rural King or Walmart and buy some more bags of dirt because I only have 4 more bags left. So here's how it looks. Here's how it turned out. I've got about 3 inches of the Beyond Peat mix on top of the layer of cardboard, and under the cardboard is the layer of branches. So my plan is I'm just gonna let this sit for a couple days, and then I will be starting to seed it for my fall crops. I already have another bed with carrots, beets, kohlrabi, kale, and Swiss chard in it. This bed here, I'm probably gonna do a pretty big section of carrots. I'm thinking probably 12 or 16 feet of carrots. And then I'll probably do another pretty good section of beets, and then finish it off with kale. So this other bed here, once I get it filled up, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put there. Probably be cabbages, broccoli,
and possibly cauliflower, but definitely cabbage and broccoli. So that's the plan. That's how it turned out. I'd say I've got every bit of 3 hours into this project, and I would definitely recommend, if you're going to tackle a project like this, make sure that you're in good physical health. These railroad ties are extremely heavy. It's extremely cumbersome to handle and to maneuver them around, but they'll last you a long time, and I've been using them for years, never had any issues. I have all kinds of organisms and life in the soil within those beds, so I'm not worried about them. So yeah, I know some people out there say not to use them, but those same people probably take Tylenol. So hey, it is what it is. They're putting something in their body, they don't know what it is. So I'm gonna do me, you do you. So from my garden to yours, have a great day.